Hi, guys. Welcome to Real Talk with Real Food Recovery. This is our weekly wisdom with our Real Food Recovery leaders. And this week, we are going to talk about a topic that's very near and dear to many people's hearts. And we're curious what you have to say too. But it's the topic of, do you weigh or don't you weigh? For me, here's my opinion. I used to weigh every day for the majority of my life, not just once a day, but twice a day, because I was so paranoid about what that number would be. And it could have easily have just popped up with an emotion versus in a number, because that was the result of, no matter what that number was, there was an emotion that came from it, and it was scary, and it made an impact on how I felt the rest of the day. So I finally, a couple years ago, I got rid of the scales. I broke up with the scales, and I have never been happier, because I finally decided that if I'm doing absolutely everything I can, it doesn't matter what the scale says. There's nothing more to be done, so it just doesn't matter. And I have been relaxed more. I just have never been happier getting rid of that part of my life. Jamie, what are your thoughts around that?
So I love the way you described that page. I love the way you talked about the where you landed on this. I used to have the same approach to weighing and weighing myself, weighing my food, weighing everything. I thought everything had to be, completely micromanaged that way. And all it did was make me completely obsessed.
Yeah.
And it brought out my OCD tendencies around my weight, my body shape, and my self-worth. Because I've lost so much weight, as I lost weight, the number on the scale would not correlate with what I saw in the mirror, would not correlate with what people were telling me about me. There were many years as I was losing my weight, in those 4 years time, starting in '08, my people in my life would have to come to me and show me pictures and say, this is what you look like. Not pictures of me. They would find pictures of like people out in the world and be like, this is what you don't look like what you think, you look like this. And I remember seeing pictures of people in the media and being like, there's no way I look like that. And they're like, this is what you look like. Because I still imagined myself at 400 plus pounds. The flip side is that's one of the ways that I keep myself in check now, because I don't weigh myself, because I couldn't stop obsessing about the scale and the weight. Once I got to a certain size of clothing, I have something I call my barometer jeans, and I put them on. And if those jeans are tight, I know that things have to be looked at and inspected. And I make sure, and I also have, some other work clothing that has no give or stretch, like my jeans. And I make sure that those always fit. And if they don't fit, I know that if they're tight, there's a problem. So that's the closest thing I get to measuring or weighing anything anymore. And I'm happy to say that I've never had to buy new clothes. I've never had to go up a size. And when I put those pieces of clothing on, it's very clear that that I'm on the right track, and how wonderful it is to have clothing that my original
Uh-oh, I think she froze. Shoot.
barometer jeans were so old, wore them out. That
Oh,
I wore
wow.
my old barometer jeans out because they were so old.
Nice.
So it's wonderful to have clothing that is many, many years old, like
Right.
10 plus years old. It's a wonderful feeling to know that the clothes that I have still fit, and that I can keep them for this many years, because the only clothing that I had that was 10 years old before was all stretchy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have work clothes and really nice items of clothing that are many years old and still fit.
Nice.
How
What
about you,
about you?
Heather?
Good point. I'm really glad you brought that up, because I was actually thinking about my closet in terms of that, because I got rid of my scale about 6 months into recovery. It was hard. It was like a divorce. Seriously, I would weigh myself every day. I've weighed myself every day since I was a teenager, and the scale would dictate my mood for the day. It was crazy. And that was all over the place, up and down. And my husband kept telling me, you must have gained weight today, or must not have said what you wanted to because you are in a horrible mood. And then I would get defensive about it. What do you mean? And I was so tired of that. It was just obsessing not only about my size, how much I weighed, but food. Then that dictated how I ate that day. It was a nightmare. So when I wrote a letter to my scale, smashed it. It was like smash the scale ceremony. There was a couple of times after I had weighed myself in the last 4.5 years, and immediately I just hated the way I felt. I hated it. I said, I won't do this again, because I could feel the negative chemicals just going through my body. I hated it. So now I just use my clothes as a gauge. And as Jamie mentioned, which is so important, I have clothes that I've had for years that I can wear. Before, I had to put them down in a closet and hope to be able to fit into them again. And now I can fit any of my clothes, and nicely. It's not, oh, I got to suck this in. I got to lose 3 pounds before I do it. No, I could wear them. They feel great. I feel good in them. I'm wearing the clothes, and it's freedom. It's freedom, letting go of that scale. So much of society is about measuring your value in terms of numbers, be it your glucose or your credit score or what's your cholesterol. Everything is a number, and we're so much more than a number, especially something as superficial as weight. So letting it go has been true freedom for me.
Agree. I even on vacation would try to find a scale in the hotel.
Yeah.
Where could I measure? Now I just measure my starches. So,
Yeah.
and my protein sometimes. So it is a much better way to live. And guess what, guys? The scale never has helped one person lose weight. So if you want to know more, you can find us at realfoodrecoveryforyou.com. That's the number 4 and the letter U. And we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.